Welcome to the best car in the world. And we are in the best city in the world, Zurich, which is the perfect place to test this car. But there is one big problem. They ask for this 20,000 bucks, which is a lot of money, but not if this is your fourth car, which are the kind of people that would consider buying such a car. It is more of an accessory for someone who worked in the marketing department at Credit Suisse. It is a toy, and as such we will treat it. Otherwise it will become the dumbest thing ever, which would be a shame because I really love this car. I think everybody should buy one. And in this video I will try to explain why it is so great and maybe worth the 20,000 bucks. So the plan for this video is to drive this car to the hip part of town where I will get myself an ice cream and we will have some time to take a closer look inside. But first, let's see how it drives. Considering the size, it is actually kind of incredible that two people fit in this car. I am above 180 and I fit happily, and the camera person is also quite happy. It is for a new electric car, it is quite old school, because this car doesn't have any power steering, which means if you park the car or if you drive in slow speeds, it is quite an exercise. This car doesn't have any ABS. Chances that you will have an accident are quite bigger. Driving this car, you question why does everybody drive an SUV? It just doesn't make any sense. It just seems ridiculous because we have enough room in here. Why the hassle? Just imagine everybody would drive this car in the city. It would be just a friendlier place. Now in Zurich, which is full of expensive cars, this car still stands out. Oh, Jesus. 10 km/h. Oh. We just found out this car has zero suspension. We're driving 10 kilometers an hour and this little bump approaches. Yeah, that's a bit of a drawback. If you live in a city which is not as usually well paved as Zurich, this will be a bit of a pain in the ass. But this car still stands out in a city which is full of super expensive cars. Okay, this car also isn't cheap, but compared to all the Porsches and Ferraris, this car is cheap. And if you're standing next to a, let's say, Ferrari Roma, everybody will look at this car, not at the Ferrari. What this car is, it is a very happy car, it is a very joyful car, and we don't get a lot of these nowadays. Everybody who sees this car smiles. It makes them happy, and it also makes me happy. It is like a little teeny tiny go-kart. Everybody smiles, everybody loves this car, and isn't that worth something? Now we are slowly arriving in the hip part of town. We came here to eat an overpriced ice cream and drink a coffee which was made by someone with a man bun. This place is famous for being very car unfriendly, but I think they will respect this car. Well, not respect, but maybe accept. And the problem here is that it's really hard to find a parking space. But maybe because this car is so small, we can find the gaps in between where normal cars can fit. So we can test the practicality of this car, if it's even worth buying such a small car. So we have arrived at the place where normal cars wouldn't fit, right here. Maybe most cars wouldn't fit, but with this car, if my parking skills don't leave me, this should be no problem whatsoever. If you get into the gear, all right. And because the wheels are right here, it is very easy to maneuver. It has a teeny tiny turning circle. But now, no power steering. So now we have parked in front of a car. So can we get out of it? That's the other problem. There is a problem that the door opens this direction, this way. Yeah, no problem. It's not that far. Easy. So it is not a super tiny parking spot. This car is self-closed, by the way, but you can see what I mean. This car fits in teeny tiny parking spots. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So it is a bit more practical. So now let's go and get some ice cream. So this back here would be the place where I wanted to get my expensive hipster ice cream, which is delicious, but they only open at 12. So this is an interesting name we just found. MF System. Now that I didn't have my ice cream, let's look at the design. It is very stylish and very well made by some Italian men. The headlights are up here. Back here you have your mirrors. In the back you have the nowadays mandatory light bar. I don't know why everybody does it. And a surprisingly big boot. It is actually bigger than the Smart. On the inside it is the absolute bare minimum. You don't have cup holders, you have rubber bands, but this means you also have room for big bottles. You have these little speakers, which means it's good to go on a picnic or something. They actually advertise this car with how much beer fits in the back, so I guess that's the whole vibe of the car. But the most surprising thing about this car is how roomy it is. I mean, just look, legs fit here easily, and you can be even a little bit taller than I am. Up here you can put your phone, so you have all the navigation and your music with your box. There's a little tiny touch screen here. Otherwise, there's nothing much, but it is nicely designed. It is quite elegant, and there is a sports button, and if you look closer, there is a little Mario Kart rocket on top of it, and if you press it, there's some flames coming out of the back of this Microlino, which is fun, which brings me to my conclusion. If you're someone that for some reason has a parking space that isn't wider than 1.50 meters, then yes, this is the perfect car for you. But for most people, not really. The Renault 5, the new one, the electric one, only costs 5 grand more, which goes further and is more practical. But as I said in the beginning, you shouldn't compare this car with normal cars. This is a toy. It is like comparing a jet ski to a boat. So this isn't really a car. It is a toy, but it is a fun toy. It is a happy toy. It makes you happy, and it makes everybody around you happy. So if you have the spare change, get it. Trust me, if you have the chance to try this car out, after 30 seconds, you love it. This isn't your daily driver. This is a lifestyle car. It is made to live the dolce vita. This is a car you drive to the lake or to the sea, and you make a picnic and maybe drink 1-2 glasses of wine, which is legal in Europe, and enjoy life, live the dolce vita. That's the kind of car it is. And if you can afford that, that's pretty nice. One thing I also want to add is, before at lunch,